Guys, what's going on? Welcome in the stream. And I hope that you're having yourself a fantastic Wednesday. Little new addition right behind me over here. Finally got that 5-leg parlay from FanDuel. This was long overdue, but finally got it up on a nice blown out poster, if you will, and put that up there behind me, a nice little portrait. So kind of takes care of that wall space that was sitting behind me. So excited about that. But welcome in. We have quite a bit to jump into, as is going to be the case throughout all of November and really all the way through till about April. Every day from here on out is just going to be action-packed with a ton of sports. So many betting opportunities, so much that we can get our money down on. So we're going to start off with DFS, but I'm going to focus and highlight the sharp money tool first. Definitely want to focus on that. Trent, what's going on? Irish, how's it going? All right, here we go. What's going on, MP? Mookie. Mookie should go there too. Yeah, I know. A lot to jump into. A lot of good things, but I was kind of glad to fill up this wall space. Felt like it was kind of empty. And, a 5-leg parlay behind me. It's kind of difficult to see, obviously, the greatest hit of my life thus far. And still more to come, though. So let's take a look. We're looking at some PrizePicks. I'm going to fire this up over here off to the side. Looking at PrizePicks and just seeing, we got any, I don't think for Wednesdays we have really any promos going on. No, not the moment. But over here using the sharp money tool, somebody really wants Keldon Johnson, and they really want his under 16.5 points and rebounds, right? So what we have over here is $1,600 at, someone wants it at minus 121. Someone has $1,000 at minus 120. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this. I'm going to put this on a 3-man slip off to the side here. I don't mind grabbing this at all. And even though it's minus 122 odds, like again, I have some wiggle room when it comes to going after some of these plays. So we're taking his less there. What else we got? Anthony Simons. Somebody really wants him at minus 121. The under 2.5 rebounds. Again, I'm throwing I'm rocking 3-pick entries, guys, with no insurance. So more than happy to grab Simons. And then Shepard, under 15.5. 2K at minus 119. Okay, and we talk about Evan Mobley. Somebody wants this at minus 121 for 1,400. And then a little bit less here at minus 119. So I'm fine if you want to go with Shepard. $600 more at Mobley at minus 121, which I will lean on Mobley. I do know, though, I already have a Mobley slip. I have one of his unders. So to kind of just balance out, I think I have his PRA that we cooked up earlier from the morning stream. So I'll go with Shepard just because I want to be careful. And it's Ben Shepard of the Pacers, not Reed Shepard of the Rockets. Under 15.5 PRA. Let's go ahead and share this one. This is a power play entry, no insurance. And let me fire up, and this one's in there. So let's go ahead and copy this and send this over to you guys. There we go. That's right, Irish. NHL Pick 6 boost. John, yes. So I actually opted for the NBA boost instead of the NHL boost. At least that's how it was this morning. Let me double check Pick 6 to see if there's any others. You can receive a 50% boost on NHL, 30% boost on the NBA. I opted to go with the NBA, even though the boost was lower. I just liked the fact that there were more options out there when it comes to Pick 6. So let me check my board right now. Yeah, we already claimed the reward. So again, if you guys went with your hockey boost, we'll look for some hockey plays, right? It just depends on which one that you ended up going with. And then looks like we got a free Brock Bowers play too for his receiving yards. That's going to be really nice. They also have a 30% live winnings boost with the NBA. Normally, guys, for Pick 6, I don't mess around with them when it comes to live. Okay. Speaking of PrizePicks and all the other slips out there, let's look at Jalen Williams. Better. Somebody really wants him. We could also play this on underdog. So that's a two-way, right? Either way, we could rock this on a 3-pick entry on better or underdog. We got Wiggins under on his made threes. Somebody wants this at minus 130. This would be underdog. So right now, underdog's leading the charge. Do we find any other underdog plays? Everything else here is a little too low for my liking. Okay, but I'll start this off with underdog because I can get behind this for sure. Let me fire this up over here off to the side, catching the chat. Try to make a $100 bet, was told the max was 89, Ken. Yeah, you definitely got limited on DraftKings, Ken. The good news is that over here, you still have $89 is not all that bad. You can still get down with it, but that is basically the beginning of getting limited. No doubt about that. All right, so we're going to take this. We're going to start with underdog, Wiggins, and then we're looking at Jalen Williams. I don't know if they'll let us take this. Obviously they're on the same team, but they're two different categories. I'm guessing that we're probably going to get punished because of this. We'll see. And then if we come over to the optimizer and we come over to underdog and we look for 3 pick slips and we look for 3 data points, what do we have? Aaron Wiggins, Mitchell, again, these are all Thunder players, so we can't grab all the same. Jaden McDaniels under on his rebounds. I'm fine with that. Under 4.5. Yeah, they're nerfing this payout a bit. I like the Williams play more than the Wiggins play. So if I was to grab this again, Jordan Poole. Oh, so I already bet the over on Cooper Flag, 27.5 PRA. This under looks okay. Jordan Poole, under 22.5 points and assists. Yes. Sam Merrill, under on threes. I can get a little bit more behind Sam Merrill. Typed in the wrong name. All right, let's rock this. No insurance. This is going to be a 3-pick slip, guys. I'll share this with you guys. Trippin', do I play Dabble? Yes, I do, but it's not available in Arizona. So when I visit my dad spends a couple months in Florida during the winters. Every winter he does. So when I go to visit him January, February time, I will play Dabble. But Dabble is by far the easiest DFS app, in my opinion, out of all of these. But it's not, unfortunately, available in Arizona. We do showcase Dabble plays, though, on the stream. Saints fan. Good evening, Billy C. I signed up for your Dub Club. Want to know if you have any promo codes or affiliate links to give you credit for where it's due. I appreciate that, Saints. No, I don't. I would say the only link, for that, no, because, with Dub Club, I definitely receive that. And for those of you that don't know, obviously I'm going to be for OGs and DGens, I do apologize. I'm just trying to spread the word out as much as I can about Dub Club for those that either find me that are new. I always try to think about someone that's maybe just discovering me for the first time or figuring out what sharp betting or odds jam is. But I appreciate that, Saints. But I saw it in there, man. A little bit of a lighter card today for player props, but I'm very bullish on those plays on the card. Very, very bullish, no doubt about that. First time last night, too. Still able to get down $89 on a player prop, Anton says. Pool was just ruled out. Damn. All right. Yeah, I got this pulled up. I appreciate that because I got RotoWire off to the side here. I'm seeing that Ant's going to play tonight. Darius Garland's making his debut. But I don't have, let me pull up Underdog NBA. Yeah. So Sam Merrill is available to play. DeAndre Hunter's ruled out. Garland's making his season debut. But yeah, 2 minutes ago. Appreciate you letting me know about that, Kevin. Poole got ruled out. Looks like Jared Allen's going to play. That's the news. Ant won't have a limits restriction tonight, so that's good to know. And Cat's a game time decision. All right, we'll keep this up. Again, guys, Underdog NBA's best updates for injury news. Speaking of Dabble, we'll take a look at Dabble right now for my Dabble users. But yes, so just started, open it up yesterday, guys. Dub Club, where I'm giving out picks. I provide really 3 updates. I provide 1 update in the morning for mainline markets, then an update a little bit later in the afternoon for player props. I am going to also start putting together an update for like some long shot lotto parlays. Play like $1, $5 on some like plus 50,000 or 100,000 odds. Definitely going to start doing that as well. maybe put together like, 2-3 slips. I think it would be very good for account health. Make them positive EV, but just try to make them that they're, very long shots. So, and then also at the end of the night, you guys receive an update on just how we did. So yesterday we were slightly in the green, just under a unit that we made off of 17 plays. Today's roughly the same, 17, 18 plays. You get NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL, and you're going to be receiving player props for NFL, NHL, and NBA. So that's what's going on. Matt, what's going on? So we're looking at some dabble plays here. Let's look at like three data points. Let's see what we have. So I would say why, another reason, I just like to maybe explain myself, I guess, because a lot of people look at Dub Club, and I used to look at Dub Club as just like, touts and you lose, and it's just people that are like stealing money from people. But this is really aimed for the people out there that, maybe OddsJam or these softwares, they're too expensive. You just can't afford it right now. It's also aimed for someone that maybe doesn't want to sit in front of a screen all day long, right? Or has a busy life, wife and kids, and you just can't. You just don't have the time. I get that. Or if your bankroll is under $100, but you want to still get some straight bets, but you know that your process isn't great, then this is where I'm going into the weeds and I'm giving my favorite plays of the day over there. And that's where right now, guys, you could try it 3 days for free, and then you're also going to receive a 20% discount. So I'm charging $19.99 a month. So if you use the 20% discount, it costs you $16 for a whole month. Which is, cents, a couple cents each day. And, but if nothing else, you can try it 3 days for free and then just cancel, right? If you don't like what you see, the volume's not up, or the books that I'm using, I try to make sure it's mainstream books. Obviously though, it's bets that I'm placing as well. I'm not just giving plays and not betting them. Every play that I give, I bet. So, and you can check that out. So, there it is, though. Try it for 3 days. I have a lot of different price packages out there. So it's not just one package. There's various different packages. You can pay by week. You can pay by 3 months, 6 months. Obviously, the more that you invest, 3 months, 6 months, the more money you're going to make. I would say you're definitely going to see a return on your investment, because for the next 3 to 6 months is the best time of the sports betting season. We have a lot of opportunities. All of these plays, I'm not playing too many DFS over there, guys. It's a lot of straight wagers. And then we're going to put together some parlays as well. DFS is mostly for the streams right now. So for Penix, okay. Jordan Love, I like this play. If you can play college props. Yeah, all these plays really on Dabble are pretty solid. Like the one thing I'll say about when Dabble on the optimizer, I like every play on Dabble. So for anyone that uses Dabble, like all of these plays, I'm in on. Like they're all pretty solid. When we go through PrizePicks and Underdog, I kind of go through a fine-tooth comb with them. It's pretty simple here. There's just big discrepancies across the board, no matter where you look. I mean, Cortland Sutton, this is crazy to Pinnacle and FanDuel. The only book that's not agreeing with all the books is MGM, and that's MGM's an easy book to make money on. So that provides more confidence for me. Let's look at Better, and then we'll jump over to DraftKings Pick 6. We'll make sure that we show and highlight NHL plays if you took the 50% boost. If you took the 30% boost on the NBA, we'll do that. Definitely, guys, the streams have been going over an hour. More time has been devoted to DFS. So for those of you that are only here for non-DFS, I would say maybe tune in 20 minutes after I start streaming, because I try to give a big focus to the DFS right in the beginning. Using the Sharp Money tool, let's refresh this as well. Right, so if I'm looking for better, I can just clear out everything, and I can just say, give me some better plays, or give me all the better plays. I don't know which one I should select, so I'll just select them all. At the moment, we talked about Jalen Williams. I like that. This Quentin Grimes and PJ Washington play, it's just too low of liquidity for me on the Sharp Money tool. There's just not enough money. There's enough money here on Jalen Williams that I'm excited about this play. So let me fire this up over here. No, Luis, Dub Club is not associated with OddsJam. Dub Club is my own venture, my own doing. It's a way for me to want to expand. Now, again, so all the plays and picks that I'm giving, I'm using Discords. I'm using software like OddsJam. I'm going through these plays and betting them myself. So, because I found out that there's actually quite a bit of dub clubs out there that they don't actually bet the stuff that they say that they give out. But I do. I bet all my stuff. And so that's just something that I wanted to kind of offer as my menu to someone else. I do offer coaching, guys. Coaching is a much higher price point to where Dub Club is. So just wanted to kind of give some different options depending on the people out there, depending on whether they are interested or not, or they have the time, or they just want to tail plays, right? This Mitchell play, okay, I already took the Williams play because I really like that. Malik Monk, great to Pinnacle. Not very good, though, to FanDuel, which I really lean on FanDuel a lot. Derek White over on his assists. I can get that going. I like that. And again, it's a nice flat number, so there is a chance for a push for insurance. I know maybe we're not excited about pushes, but I'd rather have that reduced payout and a win compared to a loss. Jared Goff under on his passing attempts. This isn't until Sunday, but I'd like to see a Pinnacle line, if I'm being very honest. And Vince Dunn. Laria under 1.5 made threes. I mean, Austin Reeves is ruled out for this game. Man. I don't know how I feel about Jakey. Let me refresh this once more. Rudy Gobert. Dang, Rudy Gobert. I don't know what FanDuel's line is, but this is way off the Pinnacle. Way off. Let's grab this really quick. I can definitely get in on Rudy Gobert under 22.5 PRA. Again, guys, no insurance on this play. It's a perfect entry. 3-pick slip on better. Here we go. Copy the link. And thanks, Anton. When you build DFS, Luis asked, do you like lines from Sharp Money or Fantasy Optimizer more? So I would say I like plays from the Sharp Money tool more, a lot more. But I like it because I like to see where liquidity is. Like, I love this Jalen Williams play because somebody wants to bet almost $3,000 on this. So I can get behind that. The optimizer's fine where I can look at other books. But the problem is, like, I don't really care about DraftKings, MGM, or Caesars odds. I just care about FanDuel. I care about Pinnacle and, like, maybe one or two other books, right? And I can obviously set this up in a different way if I wanted to, but I don't really care as much. Let's look at pick 6. And then over here on the but I like the Sharp Money tool. And I recently saw something from Alex, him saying, like, the Sharp Money tool is something that he uses a lot of. And I would agree. I really like it a lot just because I can see liquidity, right? And especially when it comes to player props. Player props, guys, in general, from all of these quote-unquote sharp books, they don't take a lot of money. So when we can see where we can get a lot of, where certain books, certain guys are getting more money down, like I just have more confidence in this play. So over here, I don't know. Did I screw something up? Let's refresh this on the optimizer. There we go. That's what I did. Let's go to NHL, and let's take a look at NHL for any of my folks, anyone out there that's using the boost. Okay, Joey Decord. I will say this. I don't know how pick 6 grades out their goalie saves. I don't know if overtime and shootout, if overtime's included or not. It's a decent play to Pinnacle, 10 cents off. I don't mind that. Stolarz over on his saves. I'm fine with that. This third play, though, yeah, and these aren't super EV plays, guys, but with your 50% boost, these will be good. So over on Decord on his saves, over on Stolarz on his saves. One place for the Kraken, one place for the Maple Leafs. And then the third and final play, oh, man, normally the more I have to scroll, the worse it gets. Yeah, I mean, Sergachev over on his shots on goal it's fine. It's fine. That's the biggest reason. While the boost is higher on the NHL, guys, you just have less markets that you can choose from compared to the NBA. I would go with Sergachev over 1.5 shots on goal. So this would be my unofficial. If I had a boost, this would be what I would play it at. Decord, Stolarz, and Sergachev. Again, I don't fully believe in OddsJam's formula here in their optimizer. I like to look at some sharp books that I believe are sharp and then just kind of go from there. Underdog NBA, let's see. No updates at the moment. Still the most recent update, Sam Merrill is going to play. Okay, so there's no new updates yet for NBA injuries. Okay. If we come over here and look at the NBA, you can just see there's more opportunities. Just more opportunities in general. DeRozan. This is only 8 cents off to FanDuel, but because of that boost, I can talk myself into this play. Jalen Duren. Jake, I like this because of the increased minutes. The over 18.5. I'd rather do Jake's over. Russ under PRA. Yeah, it's okay. Russ is over. PRA is okay. So I'd go Russ under, Jake over, and then DeMar DeRozan is all right. But you probably can't do DeRozan and Westbrook. What would be another play that I could definitely get excited about? Schroeder. Dennis, dude, these are all Kings players, dude. Dang. It's all Lakers and Kings players. Shaedon Sharpe, yeah. I'll do the over 23.5 on Shaedon Sharpe. Do over on Sharpe. Pick your poison between Dennis Schroeder, Russell Westbrook, or DeMar DeRozan. One of those, and then take Jake LaVeria on the over. Matt. No. Not, to my knowledge, it's not, but it's very similar. It's very close. I would say more times than not they align, but sometimes they do disagree with one another. You definitely, in my opinion, you don't need both. I would just pick one. That's what I'd go after with. All right. Let's go back over the Sharp Money tool. And speaking of just pick six, one more update. Nothing really at the moment. All right. Let's take a look at just some general player props across the NHL, and my mind's on football. The NHL and the NBA. Let's take a look at some player props for today. I want Pinnacle's limits of at least $250. I want the Sharp Money to be at least $2,500. Do we have anything? Let's take a look. All right, so we have 11 results. So understand this, guys. I want to see at least Pinnacle's limit of $250. Sometimes, depending on what time the game is, it could be $500, it could be $1,000. And then the Sharp Money that I want to see from the NoVig ProfitX, I want a bare minimum of $2,500. If you want to set this at $2,000, that's fine by me. We have 11 results, okay? So like Kent Johnson, this looks to be a very good play. I would definitely go after maybe a Kent Johnson, right? You can see there's $3,700 over here. So somebody really wants Kent Johnson under 1.5 player shots at minus 107. So, yeah, I would say you could get this at ESPN Bet. Obviously, it's a good play at Hard Rock. But I would also be willing to expand this, guys. You could go to ESPN Bet. I'd probably even take FanDuel and DraftKings into the consideration props builder. So there's some different options here. If we look at Mason Marchment over 1.5 shots on goal, there's $3,800, and somebody wants this at minus 140. I'm not going to lie, this is probably my least favorite player in the NHL in terms of who I've bet on, and he's just never made me any money. This guy sucks for me. So if I don't bet him tonight, he's probably going to win. So somebody is putting down, a sharp professional sports bettor, in my opinion, is putting down $3,800, right? Pinnacle's only taking $250. That's peanuts compared to what this person is putting down on ProfitX. They want Mason Marchment at minus 146 odds. That's where they really want this at. So that means that we can go bet this at minus 140 on Fanatics. You can bet this on DraftKings. You can bet this on ESPN Bet. Those would be the plays where I would go after. So I'm probably going to go over to DraftKings. Right? And if you had to choose, guys, between DraftKings and ESPN Bet, DraftKings is going to be a little bit more lenient when they limit you. They're not going to be nearly as tough on you. And this game starts at what? This is a later game. I will say that. But Mason Marchment over 1.5 shots on goal. I mean, he's got to be due. Make sure that you scroll down on DraftKings. Okay. So one thing that I can't stress enough, guys. Little things that these sports books do to rip you off. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. Okay. So over here on DraftKings, When you scroll to the top, we go to player shots on goal right here. Mason Marchment, 2+ shots on goal, over 1.5. That's minus 145 odds. If you scroll down just a little bit, it's minus 142. It's the same exact bet, but DraftKings is counting on you that you're lazy. DraftKings is banking on the fact that you're lazy or you're stupid. One of the two. So don't be lazy. Just scroll down a little bit and you can get a slightly better price. To most casual sports bettors, who cares, right? So I'll bet a 150 spot to basically make $100. Mason Marchment over 1.5 shots on goal. Again, I couldn't get it at minus 140. Don't panic. There's a little bit of a range that you can work with this play, right? So there we go. And then obviously, guys, the tracker over at OddsJam is free. Hit that up all day long. Okay, what else do we got here? Obviously, it's being recommended down here as well. This Alvarado plays probably not real life. Probably not real. And then like another example maybe would be Klingberg, right? We talked about the Shepherd play. So there's not as much, right? Because I have a higher liquidity threshold here. So if I come down here and I say, yo, let me take a look at this. If I go below $2,000, this is where we could see some different plays. Like Marcus Smart is being recommended to us a couple different ways. Under 1.5 player-made threes. Yeah. There's a little bit of liquidity chopped up here. Typically, when I'm going after these plays, I like the example like Keldon Johnson, right? There's $2,000 from one person. On Marcus Smart, there's a bunch of money kind of all over the place. So this Marcus Smart play, I don't have as much confidence in this play because there's multiple different liquidities. While it all adds up to $2,000, I like this a lot more because I know there's one individual that's putting all the money up over here. Yeah, he's your Demidov, Bryce. No doubt about that. Mason Marchment is my Ivan Demidov. No doubt about that. Steve asks, how do you think the sharp money action will be on account health? A lot of them aren't EV according to AJ, but they still... I think, Steve, that the sharp money tool will elongate your account health. I think it'll let you last longer. And the biggest reason why is because there are certain plays, like this play with Keldon Johnson. This is minus 110 on Pinnacle, right? And a lot of other sports books are like over here, right? So when we were talking about, what was that play earlier? What was the play we just bet? Mason Marchment. So like you betting this at minus 140, minus 142, right? The fact that there's $3,800 on one play, you're not exactly sticking out like a sore thumb, right? You're not exactly crushing CLV here on pricing. But what we're banking on, so I think it's a better tool to help you with account health because like I mentioned, guys, with this strategy, it's a little different than positive EV. Whereas I'm willing to take a little bit more of a range. And I'm not saying like if I'm going to take this at minus 170 at Caesars, but I'm definitely willing to take this at a couple different books, right? Or if you wanted to do this, guys, you could, if you're worried about DraftKings and ESPN bet, then trying to bet $100, bet 50 on DraftKings and 50 on ESPN bet. You are going to eat into your profits just a little bit with the price difference, but all in all, I think it's a better strategy when it comes to this. No doubt about that. So, it's kind of one of the things that I look for. I look for the Keldon Johnson or just like on that Marchment play where one person has posted a bunch of money on this play. Marcus Smart, not so much the case. Now, I'm just curious, guys. I want to take a look at this play. I haven't checked it earlier, but I'm just curious. Is this live right now? Oh, it's already live. Okay. So this Ryder play was out there earlier, guys. This morning, on this morning's stream, somebody wanted Ryder at plus 20.5 points. And right now the spreads, and they had $25,000 at Ryder plus 20.5. And now the spreads were between 17.5 to 18.5. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at my stream earlier this morning. Fast forward to the sharp money tool, maybe 30, 35 minutes in. You'll see that we identified a play on Ryder plus 20.5. One person put up $25,000. And then it was either the action was taken or it was dropped down to 4,500. And I had a lot of confidence in it. So, yeah, no problem, Steven. No problem at all. No, it's all right. I mean, listen, dude, the guy's going to cash for us sooner or later. So that's where I'm looking at this when it comes to player props. If we look at main market plays, okay, if you want to look at some main market plays for college football, the NFL, right? And I want to say, I want a minimum limit from Pinnacle of $1,000. And then I don't know, show me a sharp money tool play that has 5,000. Okay. And then give me a custom date range. Give me like from today to Monday. Looks like we have 10 results. Okay. So here's where you could see that, like, all right, well, some people want the Commanders at plus 8.5 against the Lions. Granted, there's 9,000 here, there's 6,000 here, so that does equal 15, but Pinnacle's taking $20,000. But maybe on this play here, maybe on the Sixers play, not so much. Is there anything here that gets me really excited? Not really. Again, guys, even though there's almost $8,000 on the Pelicans plus 8, remember, Pinnacle's taking $20K. So this isn't a play that I'm interested in at all. I'm looking for the sharp money to be above and beyond Pinnacle's limit. Not seeing that here at the moment. And if I jump Pinnacle's limit up to, 15K, and I want liquidity at, if I want liquidity at, let's say, 25K, you're going to notice that there isn't anything there at all. Now, if I clear out my odds range, does that change anything? No, doesn't really change anything. Okay, so these are just little things that you can kind of play around with when it comes to the sharp money tool. There's a lot of great stuff out there, but, Russell Westbrook, it's a long shot for him to get a triple-double. But there's some different plays out here that you can check out. All right, let's go over the positive EV tool. NHL goal scorers. What do we got? Okay, not great. Ovi, plus 165. If you're over at circa, this is too low for my limits in terms of taking these plays. Even with Tavares, just too low. You can sprinkle something on these if you want, but I myself would not touch these plays. Hashimura SK, appreciate that, man. Over 5.5. Got a lot going on right now, guys. All right, so let's take a look at this. Then let's refresh this. As we mentioned before, guys, the custom EV formula is getting rolled out and should be getting rolled out and be available. So at this time of the day, let me do a quick refresh to see any more underdog NBA injury news, any updates. We have some. We have some starting lineups coming out. Garland, Mitchell, Tyson, Mobley, Allen for the Cavs, Maxey, Edgecombe, Oubre, Walker, Bona for the Sixers. Ray J. Dennis is going to be available to play, though I don't know how important that's really going to factor into my equation. So let's take a look at leagues, right? Let's just focus on basketball in the NBA. And let's use a worst-case mentality. And let's say a minus 200. Let's take this to a plus 200. Now, my EV formula, guys, this is where we can have custom EV formulas where you can pick your specific books and you could say, show me some plays. And so I want to look at FanDuel. I want to look at Pinnacle. And I want to do let's do a 60-40 split. 60% FanDuel, 40% Pinnacle. Let's start off at the very top, 100%. I need to see Pinnacle and FanDuel's odds, and I need to see them aligned in order to make some money. Okay, now I won't set anything up. Let's just go after some player props, and the date range is going to be for today, and the sports books will select them all. Okay, and no minimum EV percentage, and as long as this doesn't last more than 30 seconds, we'll stay on this page, and we'll take a look. Dropped a video yesterday, guys, on the YouTube channel. It's for maybe someone that's new getting into sports betting. This is how I would start sports betting in 2026. Check it out. If you found any of this information insightful thus far in the stream, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. Helps out the algorithm. Share this with a friend that likes to bet on sports and that can't win to save their life. We can definitely get them on the right track here with some data-driven sports betting strategies because they are proven. While we're waiting for this to tee up, and this might be the only two plays that we're seeing right now, I also want to make sure I'm going to be harping on this for the rest of the basketball season. The middles tool. Don't sleep on the middles tool, where you can bet a boatload of money and make a little bit of profit, but if we hit the middle, we make a ton of cash. You can pick your sports books. naturally. So something that I might be interested in is looking at this maybe Cavs play, right? This game starts in 34 minutes. Maybe I go over to Bet 105. Maybe I go over to Hard Rock and I just make a large bet, right? I make a large bet on these books. So we're looking over here at the Cavs and the Sixers. And this is where I really think the middle tool can also help extend the life of your account. Okay. So I have some couple different options here. Now I understand that not everyone has Hard Rock, but I just want to double check this really quick over here on this play. So spreads, let's look at total points. Total points is going to pay me out a little bit more. Okay, under 235.5. Love that. Then I'm going to come over here to Bet 105. And I am going to double check. The only thing that's kind of stinky with Hard Rock is, dude, like my location. It's always kind of an issue with my location. So we're going to break this down once I lock this play in. Okay, so I'm just going to double check both plays here. Where's this Cavs game at, dude? Am I not seeing the Cavs game? Is it? Nothing over here. All right. I don't know about you guys with Bet 10. It's not, nothing's popping up when I type in Cleveland, which is insane. And then obviously Hard Rock just changed their odds. So that left. But let's just kind of break down the example. So if we take this play between the Blazers and the Thunder, between FanDuel and Bally's Bet, okay? And let's say that I can wager $200 on FanDuel, $60 over here on Bally Bet, okay? If the Thunder win the basketball game by exactly 12 points, I receive my $60 back to me from Bally Bet, but I hit this bet over on FanDuel, and I'll make about $60. If anything else happens in this game and the Thunder don't win by 12, and any other possibility happens, then I lose roughly $1, maybe 20 cents, depending on when I take this change off. So think of it as you're wagering maybe $1 to have a chance to win $60 in profit, right? So ideally when we're using the middles tool, we want to find plays to have a positive percentage, like this Tarleton State LSU game. But I like going after middle plays as a negative half percentage. I like doing that the most. We can do this also with player props if we wanted to. It only adds in maybe one extra play. So these are some different options where, on these negative percentage plays, guys, you're going to lose a small amount of money if you do not hit the middle. But we're talking 25 cents, 50 cents, $1. I definitely think it's more than worth it to go after some of these plays and hit them up, see what's going on, right? I definitely think so. So unfortunately, the play kind of left on Hard Rock, but we'll come back and take a look at this. You want to make sure you definitely spend some time on the middles tool. Luka over on rebounds. DraftKings just moved their odds, so this is dead in the water over on Onyx because Onyx is not going to hit that up. Shaden Sharp, we talked about hitting this over 23.5 up on a DFS play earlier. It's at 24.5 on DraftKings and Onyx. This is very good to FanDuel. It's very good to Pinnacle. I am going to go over to Onyx right now and try my darndest. It's a lower EV edge play, but the fact here, guys, is these lower EV edge plays, what you have to understand is, we're getting an agreement from Pinnacle and from FanDuel. So this is something that I'm definitely interested in going after. So Shaden Sharp, PRA, over 24.5. Where's this at? Bingo. Yeah, this already moved to minus 105 on Onyx. So you can hit this up on DraftKings if you wanted to. So that seems to be the only plays right now for the NBA where FanDuel and Pinnacle are agreeing with one another. If you want to set up your threshold where it's 2% or higher, that's fine. This helps you really refine, though, those sharp plays. So if I remove this and I just say, you know what, screw this, man. I just want to go after some plays using maybe FanDuel as a sharp, looking at worst case. What do we got here? Give me some plays that are like 7% edge or higher, right? What do we got? Different plays out here. Aaron Gordon over 2.5 made threes. This is an ARB to FanDuel. I would definitely hit this up on Bovada for any of you that have Bovada. Steven, one of the sides has to be EV. Yeah, the middles tool is not, the opportunities aren't as plentiful because, yeah, there has to be an EV side to this. But I also think that if you can find certain plays where you can set up your notifications, guys, you can find some opportunities where you will have a chance to, bet some main market plays. So I wouldn't go after player props with the middle tool. I'd really focus on main market plays. But yes, in general, for the strategy to work, one side has to be EV. But I'm still fine with, betting some mainline markets when it comes to this type of strategy. Totally fine with that. It just helps blend. If you're someone that's betting a ton of player props, mixing in some mainline market plays to just blend in your action, I think it's a really good thing. Eamon Thompson, this just went bye-bye because it was really good and DraftKings realized it. So what you're noticing here, guys, on this tool is that a lot of plays that are being recommended, they are going to be very EV and you have to move quick. Ja, over on his rebounds. If you wanted to maybe make a parlay over here, maybe on a Canby Sportsbook, we can type this up over here to see if anything else pops up. At the moment, it looks like it's just Ja on his rebounds. Over 3.5, over 2.5. Again, if it was my choice, I would take the over 2.5 rebounds. It's just an easier line to hit. Something might have happened there. Something clearly happened where the line's being moved. And yeah, it looks like they removed that, but you could still hit his all this is being removed now from Ballybet. Though they fixed it. They fixed these. So you can see also this time of the evening, guys, a lot of things are moving. A lot of people are sitting down, getting ready to bet. And so there's a lot of things happening. So you have to start to get acclimated to the speeds a little bit. Player made threes. This is where if I would want to bet on Pinnacle, I'm looking for bet 105. I don't see their line over here, so that's kind of unfortunate. But this is where if you live in Canada or live outside the U.S., I don't mind going after Pinnacle from time to time. And this would definitely be some spots where I would definitely do so. Ahmad, I don't know. Well, the EV formula is going to be available for Platinum Plan members. I know that they were looking to slowly roll it out to percentages of Platinum Plan members just to make sure that they didn't drop it for everybody and then the whole thing crashed. So they're kind of doing a slow release with this. But I can kind of find out and message right now from them on when we're expecting it to fully be available. All right, so let me send a message over there to Aji and we'll find out what's going on. There's one going over there. Okay, so let's see. Aside from the job play, again, guys, there's a lot of plays on Hard Rock. I would highly recommend, if you're someone like Steve that's trying to, elongate your use, I would say playing some same game parlays, playing some, these parlays are so EV on Hard Rock, guys, that you can get away with still having an EV parlay even if the edge is reduced. Totally fine with that. So if you see some different plays, by tomorrow. So by tomorrow, guys, everyone should have, that's a Platinum Plan user, should have the EV formula. All right, perfect. Let's see what else we got here. Again, better with Şengün. Under on his rebounds and assists. This would be on a 3-leg entry. This is an ARB to FanDuel. I like that. Do we see anything else for better? No, not at the moment. Obviously, guys, this play on KD is probably gone because not just the best when it comes to this. Let's lower the EV percentage a little bit. Let's drop this down to 5%. Let's see what else we have. Let's remove, again, guys, with Hard Rock, I'll show these plays up here. More times than not with Hard Rock, you're not going to be able to tail these plays at other sports books. Sometimes you can. But for the most part, you normally can't. And that's where it's a little annoying. So just to kind of remove this, we'll get rid of Hard Rock right now at the moment. I will be back on tomorrow morning, guys, streaming again. Christian Brown. Is Şengün still out there? Yeah, might be able to hit up a better slip right now. I will be streaming tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. So the Şengün play looks good. What about Christian Brown? Over 14.5 points and assists. This is an ARB to FanDuel. So again, guys, with ARBs, somebody has to be way off. Over on his points and assists. Bingo. And then Şengün under on his rebounds and assists. Give me one more better slip. Come on, guys. Come on. Give me something with better. Going to have to make me look for it, aren't you? Going to have to make me look for it. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. We'll come back to the top here. Some DraftKings plays. Tyrese Martin, under 9.5. Looks like that's gone. How about Laveria? That's gone. Let's do a quick little refresh here. Sportzino. What else do we got here? Gafford on his blocks. Yeah, this is an ARB to FanDuel. How about Props Builder has this priced at minus 333. You can grab it at minus 132. That's insane. That's insane. All right, so I like that Gafford play over 1.5 player blocks. A lot of Bovada plays, a lot of Sportzino plays. Max Christie, this is no vig, and it was bet 105. Not anymore. While there's $700 here, guys, that doesn't scare me. Doesn't scare me at all. Don't mind. It's not bad. Max Christie under 2.5 assists. We talked about Christian Braun earlier on his points and assists. The over 12.5. This is an ARB to FanDuel, so this looks very good. Okay, we're going to polish this better slip off with Tyson, and we're going on his under 10.5 points. Christian Braun just got bumped. Christian Braun just got bumped. Okay, all right. Well, then we'll do it this one. We still can get the Şengün play. And all right, I'll share this link with you guys. This is what I'm rocking over here on Better. There it is. All right. Christian Braun, what else we got? Talked about, yeah, I mean, if we can get this under 16.5, this looks decent for Şengün. It was good. Can you get this over on, okay, over at Caesars, under 15.5 at plus 100 odds. Still very good. Very good over there on Caesars. Trey Murphy, under 2.5 player made threes. How do we feel about this? Yeah, not a bunch of movement. Some movement from Pinnacle. Pinnacle's at plus 140, and they're now at plus 130. I would probably, I'd stay away from the Murphy play. I'm not a fan of that one. Let's refresh this once more. Dude, there's just so much going on. Tyrese Maxey under on his PRA. Bet 105. This is a low hold to Pinnacle. Let me take a look at this. Who's moving? That's what I want to know. Oh, look at FanDuel's movement. Okay, go. If you guys have Bet 105, I would hit this up on Tyrese Maxey all day long. This is what? Sixers, Cavs. And this is literally the one play I can't find over here on this site. I have no idea. It's not live now. Yeah, if you can grab this, this is a great play. Really, really good play over at Bet 105. Demon, under 3.5 assists. ARB to FanDuel. Dude, look at DraftKings. Look at DraftKings. Just moved lightning fast. This can definitely be annoying sometimes. Even just looking at these is just like, dude. And you can see with the NBA guys, there's so much out there. OG over on assists. That's gone because FanDuel probably updated their odds. Jalen Williams on his rebounds. That's an ARB. Any Canby Sportsbook. You can have a really good time. Instant Irish. Dang. I would just have to think that like, there's just a massive bump just right now in general because, yeah. I don't think it's because of me. I just think it's because there's so much activity going on right now before the NBA games. Let's take another look over here at NHL goal scorers to see if we can find anything. And then we'll go back over to the Sharp Money tool to see if we can find some stuff. The other thing that I kind of like about the Sharp Money tool, because it is a fundamental, still Ovechkin, still Tavares, but FanDuel moved their line on Tavares. The one thing I would say is because the Sharp Money tool is a little bit of a fundamentally different strategy, you're going to be able to find plays that stay out there a bit longer. That's for sure. So let me set this up over here on the books again, and we'll look for some more player prop odds. Yeah, I'm cool with all that. And again, we'll do this. All right, and liquidity will go with, let's go 2,000 here. All right, 6 results on the Sharp Money tool at the moment. Reed Shepherd, over 1.5 player-made threes. Someone wants it at plus 119. Someone wants it at plus 122. We can get this at plus 124. You can get it at Hard Rock too. Anytime DraftKings has better odds than Hard Rock, that's a go get this right now type of scenario. No doubt about that. No doubt. What else do we got here? CJ McCollum, $2,700. Someone really wants his under 14.5 points. They won it at minus 109. Honestly, I could bet this at bet 105 at minus 109. This is a play I would be happy to go bet over at bet 105, which I'm going to do right now. So McCollum under 14.5 points. Minus 109 odds. You guys can bet this at Hard Rock. You could bet it at Bovada. You can... Yeah, I mean, it's just a little bit off for sure. Looks like I got to log in to place the wager. Awesome. Again, guys, bet 105. If you use code BillyC, you're going to, on your first deposit of $100 when you create a new account, you will receive a $50 bonus bet. It's a 1x rollover, one of the better books, in my opinion, in terms of they're not going to hold all of your funds captive forever. McCollum just moved to minus 111. I'm still fine with that. If I would have got it when I wanted it, I could have got it at a slightly better price, but that's all right. We're in for a 150 spot. Now I'll move to minus 112. So there we go. Let's refresh this. The Reed Shepherd play I definitely like a lot. The McCollum play I like quite a bit. Marcus Smart, like we talked about before, not as much just because of how it's all chopped up. Nick Claxton, under 8.5 rebounds. Here we could see that because this game is starting soon, Pinnacle's taking $2,500 on this play. So this would be an example, guys, of a play that I don't like, right? Pinnacle's taking more money than the person wants over at ProfitX at the moment. So not something that I would go after and target, right? Pinnacle's limit's going to be very important here. On the McCollum play, they're taking $500. Reed Shepherd, they're taking $500. So those are plays that I'm totally cool with. Let's go back over. Let's take a look at the middle tool just to refresh once more to see if we got anything new. Whoa, okay. Bookmaker's probably off on this North Alabama, Mississippi play. And okay. Yeah. There's some different. Is there anything I could actually execute right now? Bookmaker Sports Zeno. Let me take a look at some of the books that maybe I actually have, like I could use accounts with right now that are actually out there for me that would be beneficial for me. Where's Sports Zeno at? All right, let's check this out. 7 results. Again, this play's not showing up here, but we could do this again over on FanDuel, over on Ballybet, or any Bet Rivers play if we wanted to, but I'll hold off on that at the moment. And again, guys, if you start to live bet with the Middles Bet, guys, there's some great opportunities with college basketball as games are going on live. These books are super out of sync. It's a similarly like arbitrage betting, but you have a chance to maybe cash both bets or at least one bet and push the other. So I always just advise, it's pretty simple with middle betting because there's not a ton of opportunities. Just click refresh. If you see anything you like, if not, then just move on to something else, right? Arbitrage betting, this would be the time that I would want to go after an arbitrage bet. Jalen Brunson, this game starts in 30 minutes. Can I hit this ARB up between FanDuel and DraftKings? That'd be great. It would be really, really cool. I just got to find out what my max wager size is on FanDuel. So you always want to go over to FanDuel first because I know that FanDuel is going to tell me what's my max wager size for this play. And that's important to note. So we're looking at defense, steals. We want him to not record a steal. So Brunson, yeah, this already bumped. It's at plus 140. Still an ARB, but not as good of an ARB anymore. I don't know why they finally just updated it. So we'll remove that one. Hide that bet. Oh, I got so excited for that. So excited. Trendon Watford. Probably fake news because of Onyx. Onyx, I would also remove Onyx because if it's not DraftKings odds, it's not there. But it is over there on DraftKings. So it might be there on Onyx. Props Builder and DraftKings. Huge fan of using Props Builder for any of your ARBs. This game starts in like 4 minutes. So this would definitely be something I want to go after. Let me see if I can grab this. Watford, Sixers, Cavs. We need him to get 5 rebounds. Okay. And then let me log into Props Builder. Now, you don't want to be doing what I'm doing right now, which is I'm trying to log into Props Builder. Right? I'm trying to get this all set up. Watford under 4.5 rebounds. We want him to get over 4.5, so we want him to get 5. All right, this is out there. Cool, cool, cool. This is still there. It's alive and well. Rebounds. Sixers, Cavs, Watford. Don't see him. Dang, dude. No, not there. Can't bet the under. Props Builder must have updated it. I can't find it for the life of me. Yeah, not there. So we can't bet that. That's a mistake then by OddsJam because that's not actually out there. It is on DraftKings. It's not there on Props Builder. Would love to execute an ARB for you guys, but yeah, nothing there at the moment. I mean, these are all solid, but I don't have 4CX. Okay. I got to run, guys. I got to skedaddle, but I will be back on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Then we're going to be looking for NFL player props Thursday Night Football tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock Eastern. So 2 streams again tomorrow. Come back, hang out. Let's hit some bets. Hopefully you learned a few things. Hopefully you learned how to use the software a little bit better or just sharp betting in general and what I look for. I do apologize. The last 15, 20 minutes of the stream, just not a lot of action, not much going on. But there is a lot of plays out there, no doubt about that. So if nothing else, guys, have a fantastic Wednesday evening. Questions, email me, DM me, and I'll check you guys out tomorrow. Take care.